bolster if you do have one at home. Otherwise, just grab a hold of 2 big cushions. If you do have some yoga blocks at home, you can keep those handy as well. So we're going to move through a beautiful yin yoga practice together today, and some of the things or the qualities that you might want to hold in your awareness as we move through the class today is cultivating balance. And maybe you can ask yourself how you can cultivate more balance in your life, and maybe there's some things that you need to let go of under this full moon to help to facilitate that. So we'll be doing a few poses on each side of the body so that we can get a feel for where perhaps we might have some imbalances between left and right sides, which is very common in our bodies. And we'll be doing a bit of work too on the kidney. So that's one of the themes of this moon, is the kidney. So kidney meridian will be worked a lot throughout the class, and the kidney and the spleen and also the liver meridians run through the insides of our legs. So that's a little bit of where we're heading with our practice today. So gather anything that you need for your class. If you'd like to play some music in the background, you're welcome to. And then when you're ready, let's come into a comfortable seated position. Closing down your eyes to begin. Let's just take a few moments here just to fully arrive here in the space, fully arriving, landing in your body in this present moment. Just anchoring into your breath, anchoring into your body. Releasing the day that you've had so far, not thinking too far ahead into the future, but just taking the time now to be here, be present in this now moment. Anchoring down through the sitting bones as you rise tall through the spine, sending the crown of your head skyward, rooting down the sitting bones towards the earth, just allowing the spine to elongate so that we can really have that beautiful kundalini energy flowing through the spinal column. Just starting to move your awareness around your body, and with this theme of balance, maybe you'd like to start on one side of the body first and then move over to the other side and just observe without judgment how you're feeling on each side of your body, and then as just tune into your entire body as a whole and see how you're feeling, just gathering some feedback. If you do come across any points of tension, any points of pain in the body, can you just allow the breath to flow, to flood these parts of the body? And just softening your hips, your belly, soften your belly so you can breathe down into the belly. Soften your shoulders, soften the jaw. Just acknowledging where you're at within your emotional body here as well. And now move your awareness to the natural rhythm of your breath. Just observing the breath, noticing the way that your breath is traveling through the body, and just noticing the breath moving in and out of your nostrils. Feel the rise and fall of your chest and your belly with the breath. Every time that you inhale, see if you can breathe just that little bit deeper. With a long, smooth exhale. So you're letting everything go that you need to under this full moon on your exhale. And then when you inhale, you're welcoming in this beautiful, fresh prana, life force energy. We are going to do a few rounds of Nadi Shodhana breathing, otherwise known as alternate nostril breathing. So when you're ready, just coming back into the space just for a moment so I can show you where we're heading from here. So you're going to bring your right hand, 2 first fingers, and place them at the third eye between the brows, curling the other 2 little fingers in, and then the thumb stays free to be able to travel on each side of your nose. So basically for our alternate nostril breathing, we're going to alternate which nostril we are breathing in through and out of. So just getting the positioning for your hand. If your arm does start to get a little bit sore, you can just bring the opposite hand, pop it under the elbow for that little bit of extra support. Once you're comfortable there, you can close your eyes back down. Just getting familiar with having your hand near your face. Make sure you're still sitting up nice and tall through the spine as well. Just blocking off the left nostril with your thumb. Take an inhale through the right nostril. Slide that thumb across to block off the right nostril and then exhale through left. Inhale through left. Block off left and then exhale through right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Just continue to breathe in this way for a few more rounds. This alternate nostril breathing is a really beautiful way to cultivate this balance between our feminine and masculine sides of the body, to cultivate this feeling of balance, of peace, of harmony within our entire being. It's also really beautiful and calming and cooling for the nervous system as well. Just keep going here for a few more rounds, and you might find here that you can have a sense that one nostril will perhaps be a little bit more open and a little bit less open than the other, and it does change throughout the day as well. So just a little interesting note there. The next time that you exhale out through the right nostril and complete a full round, just return to the natural breath now, dropping both hands down either to the lap or just to rest over your knees, and just take a moment here to pause. Keeping the eyes closed, and observe how your body is feeling. How is your nervous system feeling? What were the effects from that beautiful balancing breath work? One more big breath here together. And then when you feel ready, you can just start to flutter, open the eyes, coming back into the space. Okay, let's start to move into our beautiful practice now. So if you've got your props there, just pop them off to the side for now. Coming over onto hands and knees, we'll just warm up with a few little rounds of cat-cow. So you've got knees stuck under the line of your hips, hands just forward of your shoulders. And then let's just gently start to sway the hips here from side to side. You can move as much or as little as you like. You might even like to do a couple of little circles. Just see what feels right in your body. Just one more big breath here. And then let's come back into the center now. As we inhale, let's start to drop through the belly, lift up through the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, tucking the chin, rounding through the spine. Inhale, belly drops, heart lifts. Exhale, rounding the spine. Let's do a few more rounds here. So you just flow now at your pace. You're synchronizing the movement with the breath. When you inhale, you're really threading that heart forward. And then as you exhale, pressing the mat away with the hands, getting that beautiful release through the back of your body. And you're just synchronizing the movement here with the breath. Let's just do one more round here together. Inhale, let's come back to center. And then exhale, we're just going to find our balasana, child's pose, just for a few breaths. So you can drop your knees wide, toes are touching, hips work towards the heels, and let's come to fold forward. Just a few breaths here for some centering, for some grounding, some earthing. Just turn your awareness within here. Feel your body, feel your breath, feel your body connected down towards your mat. One more big breath here. And then as we inhale, just float your head up off the mat. Walk the hands all the way over to the left and then exhale to fold. Beautiful side bend here. Sliding the shoulders down the back. Breathe into the right side body. Inhaling, lift the head. Let's walk the hands all the way over to the right side of the mat. And exhale to fold. Breathe now into the left side ribs. Inhale, float the head up, walk the fingertips back to center, and then let's come back over onto hands and knees and coming over onto our sit bones. Now from here, let's come straight into Baddha Konasana, butterfly. Soles of the feet together, knees are wide, so you want to make sure you're up nice and high on those sitting bones. The closer that your feet are to your body, the stronger it will feel. So if it's too much, walk your feet out, make that nice wide diamond shape. If you've got a bolster at home or a few of those big cushions and you would like to fold forward and have some beautiful support, now's your opportunity to bring that over and place it over the top of your legs. So if you've got a bolster sort of like mine here, you can flip it over, make it nice and high so you can fold forward. If you don't mind hanging out in space just to get that little bit of a deeper opening through the back body, you can choose not to use your support there. So see what feels good for you. Just honor your body today. Take an inhale here to lengthen through the spine, and you might even stay working high through the spine here and close your eyes down. Otherwise, if you're coming with me, let's use the exhale to fold. So we're folding forward. Maybe you're landing down with the third eye onto your prop. Maybe not, just see how you go. Take as much time as you need here to set yourself up. And then once we're there, let's close the eyes down, resolving to remain still. So we are doing a few little hip opening type poses today because we want to really get into predominantly that kidney meridian that runs through the insides of the legs. So let's just start to create some space here in the hips. So you can just bring your awareness down into the hips, down into the groin area. We often hold a lot of tension here in this part of the body, and we're usually not aware that we have it there. So let's just see what's present for us today. See if you can allow this part of your body to soften. Allowing the knees to fall a little bit wider with the exhale. Maybe you can just start to soften and fold forward that little bit deeper as well. Just stay present here for the next few breaths before we transition out of the pose. Let's just spend 5 more breaths here, inhaling through the nose, exhaling either through the nose or through your mouth. As we inhale now, let's slowly roll on up through the spine, come on up to a seat. Just take a moment to pause here. So if you do have a prop there, just pop it off to the side. Close the eyes down just for a moment before we move on to our next pose, just so you can observe and absorb the effects from your beautiful butterfly pose. Feel the space and the energy that you've cultivated in the hips. As we inhale, just start to gently blink open the eyes, coming back. Okay, so from here, just start to extend your left leg out long, and then the right knee will be bent, and you can bring the sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh. So you just want to make sure you're up nice and high on the sitting bones. As we inhale, let's lengthen through the spine and then turn to face the bent knee. And I'm going to show you a few different options for this one. As we exhale, we're going for a little fold here. So you're sliding that left hand down the left leg. Now the full expression of the pose is to draw that top arm across the ear, although it's quite strong to hold for the full duration. So another way you could set up here is bending the elbow and bringing that hand to the back of the neck. You could wrap that arm around your lower back. If you do have yoga blocks at home, the other thing you could do is pop that to the outside of the left leg. You could pop the elbow here, cradle the head in the hands, and then just find where you want to be with that right arm there. So lots of different ways you can set up. So maybe try a few out, see how you go. Once you're there, you're going to close the eyes down and resolve to remain still. So you can feel here that we're working all the way through the inner seam of your left leg. Just keep drawing back on the right shoulder so you can rotate the spine and open the heart. Just keep breathing into the right side body. See if you can soften that little bit deeper. Can you allow yourself just to let go a little bit more? We won't be holding this one for the full 5 minutes, but just do make sure you're still feeling comfortable here. Keep allowing yourself to melt, to soften, to go deeper and deeper and deeper. Let's stay present here for the next few breaths before we transition over to the other side. One more big breath here into the side ribs, down into the belly. Using your next inhale, let's slowly start to release. So you're rolling back to the center. And just coming back into any seated position that feels comfortable, taking a moment's rest here just to integrate before we change sides. Just observe how your body's feeling after that pose. Notice any shifts in your energy. When you feel ready, let's come back into the space and set up for the other side. So this time now you've got your right leg long, left knee bent. Bring the sole of the left foot to the inner right thigh. And just adjust your weight on the sitting bones here again. If you're using a block, you can pop that over to the other side as well. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Let's turn to face the bent knee. And then as we exhale, coming for the fold, so you're sliding the right hand down the right leg. And then remember we had those few different ways that we can set up. So you can draw the the left arm across the ear. You can bend that elbow and place the hand to the back of your head, wrapping the arm around the lower back or cradling the head in the hands using the blocks. So there's lots of different options. This side might feel different than the first, so it's totally okay here to set yourself up in a different variation. Just take all the time that you need to set up here, and then once you're there, closing the eyes down, we'll resolve to remain still. And here again, just feeling this beautiful deep release here all the way down the inner seam of the right leg, stimulating that kidney meridian or energy line, and in turn cleansing out the kidney organs. And just keep drawing back now on the left shoulder, really subtly here, so you can keep rotating the spine, opening the heart. You're breathing into the left side ribs. Eyes are closed. We're just staying here for a few more breaths. One more deep breath here, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose or through your mouth. And then as we inhale, just slowly start to release, rolling your way back to the center, coming back into a comfortable seated position, keeping the eyes closed if you can. Taking a moment to notice and absorb the effects after that last pose. as we inhale, just start to gently blink open the eyes, coming back. Okay, so from here, we're going to come into our frog pose. So this one's very, very strong. So if it doesn't feel comfortable for you, you can come back into butterfly where we started the practice. I'll show you that one again in a moment. If you want to be extra supported here, you might like to keep your bolster or your cushions handy as well. So for your frog pose, what you're going to do is just bring the knees out wide as you can. That feels comfortable because it's very strong for those hips. And then you're just kicking your toes out to the side. You could come down onto the forearms. And then if you've got a bolster or something handy there, you can just bring that in front of you and then start to lay the torso down if you want that little bit of extra support. Maybe turning the head to one side or the other. Just be really careful, really mindful in this pose because it is so strong. So just shuffle around, get yourself set up here, and then once you're there, just again closing the eyes down, staying nice and still here. So you might meet some resistance when you first arrive here in this pose. But again, just see if you can allow the hips to soften. We've done quite a bit of hip opening so far, so hopefully those hips are starting to open up, to soften, to let go. Just keep working with the breath, especially the exhale, just to help you to go deeper. So if you find the hips do start to open up, maybe you can just really softly, really gently start to press the hips backwards towards the heels just to deepen that opening a little bit more. And just start to turn your awareness deeper within now. Soften the shoulders, soften the belly, so you can keep breathing down into the belly, breathing into the back body. Just a few more breaths here. One more big breath here, inhaling through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. Let's come out of this pose now very gently. So as we inhale, if you've got the prop there, just pop it over to the side and then just start to move your weight forward into the forearms. Very gently bring the knees back towards each other. And then come into any comfortable seated position with the eyes closed, taking a moment to pause, to breathe, to integrate. Just observing that really strong energy and the space that you've created in the hips now. Just one more breath here. As we inhale, just gently opening the eyes, coming back into the space. Okay, so let's very gently now start to bring ourselves all the way down onto the mat. And just taking a moment to pause here, allow the back of the body to soften down into the floor. And just let your body adjust to being laid down on your mat. Just keep the breath flowing here. one more big breath. And then inhaling, just fluttering open the eyes, coming back into the space. And then from here, we'll start to hug the right knee into the chest. And then the left leg could be bent, or you might like to stretch that left leg out nice and long. And just make sure the shoulders stay nice and soft against your mat. Eyes are closed. And just really hugging that right knee in as close to your chest as feels comfortable. And this pose is really cleansing, detoxing, releasing for the body. So it's perfect for this full moon, just to start to let go of anything that's no longer serving, creating space for something new. Let's spend another 5 deep breaths here together. And before we change sides, we're going to do another pose on this side, coming into a twist now. So you're drawing that right knee across your body over to the left. You're stretching your right arm out beside you at shoulder height, so you want to make sure both shoulders are grounded to the mat. And then you can stack your legs however feels comfortable. So you might have bottom leg long, top knee bent. You might have one leg stacked on top of the other. You might have one knee crossed over the top of the other one. See what feels comfortable for you here. And then your head is either centered, or you can allow your gaze to fall towards the right before gently closing the eyes down again. Just continuing on with our cleansing and detoxing theme as we hold here. So our twists are always very cleansing and detoxing for the physical body. So you can feel here that we're wringing out the digestive system, those digestive organs, and also the emotional body as well. So if there's anything you need to release, now's your opportunity to do that here, and it should feel like a pretty nice release here for the lower back. Getting that energy again moving up through the spinal column. Just make sure the breath is still flowing, it's deep, even and rhythmic. Staying present here in your own energy for the next few breaths. Let's take another 3 of those big, beautiful breaths here together. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose or through your mouth. As we inhale, let's start to very gently unravel, coming back to center, realigning the spine. If you come a bit off center, pausing here, so you might like to just knock your knees together. You might stretch the legs long, see what your body needs here. Take a moment to rebound after those last 2 poses and just observe any shifts in your energy, in your body, in your nervous system. When you feel ready, we'll start to set up for the other side now. So you're drawing your left knee into the chest. And again, the right leg could either be bent or you could stretch it out long. See what feels comfortable on this side. And again, just soften the shoulders so they're resting flat against your mat. You're hugging the left knee in as close to the body as feels comfortable. Eyes are closed if they aren't already. We're nice and still in the body. Stillness in the body, stillness in the mind. Just allowing any stagnant energy, any stuck emotions to release their way out of your system as you hold this pose. Inviting, creating space for fresh, new, clean, vibrant energy in the body. Just a few more breaths here. Let's start to turn our pose into a twist now. So you're drawing your left knee across your body over to the right this time. You're stretching that left arm out beside you at shoulder height, both shoulders grounded to the mat. Just stack your legs here, however feels comfortable on this side. And then your head is centered, or you can allow the head to fall towards your left for that full spinal twist. Eyes are closed here. You're working with the exhale, maybe to subtly soften and rotate that little bit deeper. And just observing how this pose feels on the other side. So we've done quite a few poses on one side of the body and then the other. So you might have noticed some imbalances on one side of the body to the other. And as I mentioned at the start of the class, that's very, very common. And that's one of the beautiful benefits of practicing this style of yoga, so that we have the time and the space to observe any imbalances, any blockages that we might have in our system. Let's spend another 5 deep breaths here. And using your next inhale, very gently start to release, unraveling. Coming back to center, just realign the spine if you've come off center, and find that position where you can rest and rebound out of the pose, keeping the eyes closed. Absorb and observe any energetic or physical shifts after those last 2 poses. And then once you feel ready, I'm just going to hug the knees into the chest. And then 2 options here. So option 1 is just to widen the knees, drawing the knees down towards the armpits, keeping the sacrum, your lower back grounded. So this is option 1 here. Option 2 is to take happy baby pose, turning the soles of the feet to the sky, grabbing a hold of the outsides of the feet, pressing your hands and your feet towards each other, just to open up through those hips a little bit more. And again, try and keep the sacrum grounded to the mat. In either pose, you might like to take a little rock and roll from side to side. That's optional here, just honour your body, see what feels comfortable for you. One more big breath here. And then gently release, drawing your knees towards your chest once again. We'll start to roll around here in one direction. Just feeling that beautiful massage for the lower back. And then let's come around in the other direction. Coming back to center, gently release, dropping the feet down to the mat, arms beside you. Just windscreen wipering our legs for a few breaths, so just dropping the knees to one side and then over to the other. Just releasing out any tension you might be carrying here in the lower back. And then bringing yourself back to center, and we are working our way now towards Shavasana, which is our final resting pose. So if there's any other poses or movements that you need to take in your body to prepare for Shavasana, you're more than welcome to do that now. If you are ready for your Shavasana, before you do, you might actually need to maybe grab a blanket or a jumper. If it's a bit cold where you are, maybe some socks. You might like to pop an eye pillow over your eyes, a cushion under your head. If you do have a bolster at home, it's quite nice to pop the bolster under the knees just to prop your knees up a little bit. Coming into Shavasana now, we've got the legs extended out long, and just allow the feet to flop out to the side. Arms rest beside you, palms facing up, and the eyes will close. And just tuning in now to the polarities in your body here. So just feel the back of your body against the floor. Just allow the back of the body to soften, to melt, to become heavy. While the front of the body feels light and open and receptive. So notice the left side of your body, which represents the feminine energy. And then notice the right side of the body, which represents the masculine energy. There's so many polarities, so many contributing factors to everything in life, but even within ourselves, and it's all of these factors that really want to come together in a beautiful balance and harmony, which is one of the themes of our class today. So really just invite that sense of harmony and of balance within your own being now. Just allow the breath to become soft and free-flowing, and really allow yourself to fall deeply into Shavasana for as long as you can, a minimum of 5 minutes. Thank you for sharing your practice with me, and I'll see you again soon.